While the inventor is off making his tools to do the readings properly, I am off to meet with a fellow counterpart of sorts to see if it's possible something else is responsible for these divergent timelines resulting in catastrophe of sorts. The following is an audio log from past few days, I believe. Been losing track of time trying to chase down answers to what this possibly is. Begin audio log.
Begin audio log. Welcome to the Red Rose. I put out a message through the call sign network, tasking my various other selves with tracking their divergent timelines, and although we won't know till the inventor makes his monitoring tool, but the early reports from my counterparts are not good. As I had theorized earlier, all timelines that go divergent result in dead Earths. No Vanjikis, no Lancaster City to speak of. During all this, of course, I had the foresight to have talked to the only other Vanjik with more experience in multiversal affairs than I. The Starborn is a little arrogant and full of himself, something that all Vanjikis tend to share in common. But he's explored more of the multiverse than any other, so I was hoping he would have some sort of understanding as to what was happening. But alas, he was just as clueless as I was. It would seem he was investigating these dead-end timelines much longer than I. In fact, he started his investigation half a multiversal year ago, as opposed to me who only started last week. But I digress. He showed me the data he has been compiling, and the results are not pleasant. But before I got the chance to ask what all of this meant, he showed me. As you can probably guess, the Vanjikis don't respect rules very much, not even the ones we set for ourselves. So in short, once again I found myself taken to another timeline against my will. Before I could even attempt to yell at the Starborn, I saw what shouldn't be possible. You see, we have several undead timelines. Sometimes it's a virus, a plague, a curse, or an old evil spell. It can be a lot of things. But these undead timelines are timelines where the human population is outnumbered by the undead that walk the streets of Lancaster or the world abroad. Essentially what I'm saying is the dead can't think, obviously, well, in most cases anyway, so needless to say these are the only timelines that cannot go divergent. There simply are not enough factors at play. Too much has already been done, so there's no answers to change history with. Or so we thought. The Starborn had taken me to one of the undead timelines, what used to be one, and this time when I looked around I saw that even the great undeath could not survive. The undead were everywhere. Scattered about in bits and pieces, arms, legs, heads, torsos all strewn about, skulls smashed everywhere. As if the winds of Mother Earth came alive and ripped everything limb from limb, molecule to molecule, atom to atom. Nothing undead or alive walked this earth but me and the Starborn. According to him, this was the 13th undead timeline to turn divergent, something that should be an impossibility. It's a bit ironic, but the undead, despite being mindless in an 8 out of 10 times, is technically considered an organized group of individuals, for lack of better terms, by rule and will of the multiverse, of course, or rather the guy who created said multiverse. But I once again digress. Either we can establish from this, that whatever is doing this to these timelines is not just targeting life on Earth, it's also targeting any form of organized group. This new data is quite disturbing. But regardless, from there I thanked the Starborn for the data and went about to my next task. There is a Vanjik, known for great power. He doesn't walk Earth, so to speak. He technically doesn't walk a Lancaster City. Well, it's complicated. We call him the Walker of the Lost Realms, or the Faerun Vanjik. His powers are unique to the rest of us, a type of magic, if you will, Although a majority of us believe there is actual science behind his power, this Walker the Faerun version of me claims that his world and timeline possess what we would call gods by most of our standards. Although I doubt the validity of these so-called gods. Any counsel that can lead to answers is welcome by me at the very least. Begrudgingly welcomed anyway. Hopefully, this time God the Vanjik of Faerun speaks of can provide answers. And if this so-called God tries to start problems, well, let us just say that the .44 Magnum we carry is not just a badge of office. When you face Satan himself and meet a few million versions of yourself, is hard to take the talk of God seriously. *error *audio log file, command override repairing repairs complete.
Tracking source of next audio file play. You thought you could get rid of me? The first Vanjik of the multiverse? No, I will never leave. You cannot run any longer, Vanjikis. I am the one with all the stories. I am the one who came first. I'm the one who will take you all out. You have faced the likes of kings and queens, monsters and angels, gods and devils. But you have never faced me before. I always come back. Recovery process complete.
Welcome back to the Vanjik AI network. Begin audio log. Well, that was interesting. The god of time, Auros, or Gods as the Walker claims, is in a bit of a confused state like the rest of us. She claims that she can't see outside of lost realms, but from what she can observe, these divergent timelines, these dead ends, are also occurring in Faerun. I asked this supposed god if there were any common events or links between the divergent timelines, and he said she couldn't find any, as the divergent timelines seemingly go on normally and keep diverging from the main timeline at first. But then out of nowhere, every time, it is like someone just flicks their wrist and all of Faerun is gone, as if a single entity just blew it all away in nanoseconds. I then went on to wonder how the call sign network wasn't picking any of this up. I asked if the quote-unquote magic from the very realm we were standing in was at play in all of this. As honestly, I was out of scientific explanations for all of this. But sure enough, she said that none of the gods would have an interest in such a minuscule task, and she further said no mortal is capable of doing such a thing either, not even in mass groups. The Walker then further backed her up by stating that not even he could wipe out the planet if he wanted to. Faerun is filled with too many strong fighters who with great training could arguably match a lower level god. Needless to say, this concerned me. The implications of a planet worth of basically demigods getting destroyed in nanoseconds. I do not even want to begin to ponder such a thing. So naturally I followed up on the next logical question, and I asked where all the other Vanjikis went. To which she told me something worse than Trthani ever could have realized. The Vandukes were there, but just like that, in the same vein, they all just got wiped away. I stopped very much dumbstruck. And I retaliated with words of pure anger. You see, no one, not even another Vanjik, has ever taken one of our lives. I repeat, no one in the known multiverse has ever killed a Vanjik. Ironically enough, we had deemed it an impossibility. Vanjikis have fought against the like of Wendigos, Skinwalkers, the Mothman zombies, mutants, the literal devil, various false gods, time, space, and the fabric of reality itself, and have always lived to tell the tale. Although all Vanjikis have different powers and gear sets, we all share our night sight, which, to be honest, is much more than night sight. Our eyes are like viewing globes to the multiverse. We can quite frankly see all of time and space in less than a second. We also use our eyes as a way of calling for help from other Vanjikis when we are in peril. Killing a Vanjik should not be possible. Yet there I was standing in a room with the goddess of time and the Walker Vanjik to my side. And we all saw the same thing, hundreds of versions of me and the other Vanjik killed and slain right there in the streets of our home. My mind was racing, none of this made sense. So those Dukes of Lancaster County, they did exist, so why were their call signs not being picked up? It's like they formed in the timelines and then were cut off instantly. Well, at least we know who the prime targets are. I mean, yeah, we have crossed a lot of people over the years, so the list of people who want us dead is pretty large, but who has such power? No, this doesn't add up. We have faced all our foes at once, literally at once. Thousands upon thousands of foes who rank to that of the multiverse itself, and they could not stop us. We all fought back and we won, and we have done so multiple times. We rank above the gods. To wipe a whole planet in seconds should be impossible even at our level of power. End audio log.
This is the inventor sending an audio message to the Fallout version of me, anyway. If any other Von Dukes happen to check their inboxes for once, maybe you'll actually hear this yourselves too, as I'm sending out an alert of sorts. Well, to put it bluntly, the multiversal measuring tool I was making that could give us all the numbers we needed in seconds has just been destroyed. I don't know who or what did this, but there's another thing out there, and it's walking the multiverse. At least I think so, anyway. Inventor out.